Om Kayena vacha manasyendrayirva Bhutyatmanava prakriti swabhava Karomi adyat sakalam paresma Narayanayeeti samarpayami Narayanayeti samarpayami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. In this series of videos, we are going to talk about Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, of divine love, of God realization. So we are going to talk about the Narada Bhakti Sutras, a beautiful work attributed to sage Narada that talks about in full length of the path of devotion. May you all find inspiration in this work. May you all find meaning and purpose in your spiritual quest through these words. This kind of work, these words, these sutras, they bring light and they open the door to the life of the real quest for liberation. May you also find divine love in your heart. Moving on, Narada Bhakti Sutras, chapter 11, Who Crosses Maya? So this is a very important chapter that says in a clear way, who crosses Maya, who crosses illusion, who realizes God. Sutra 46. Who crosses Maya? Only those who avoid all contact with such objects of senses as are likely to inflame passions, who resorts to great spiritual soul and serves him and who is free from mindness or the idea of possession. So what this is clearly stating is the one that gives up the world, the one that uses the life of the body into serving a great soul, into directing all his energy into God realization. So this is what is clearly saying. Because you cannot renounce objects that inflame passions without renouncing the world. So those who avoid all contact with objects of the senses. So this passage is very important because in these days, greed is at its highest. Everything is greed motivated, including spirituality, quest for liberation. It is seen as something that will add something more to life. So it's a win-win. It's about keeping what you have and getting something that will improve that. And that's not the case. Without renunciation, there is no crossing over Maya, over illusion. Those who resort to great spiritual soul and serves him, and who is free, and serves him. So the one who dedicates his life honoring that grace of being in the presence of the Guru, who is able to serve him, aligning his mind to the mind of the Guru, serving him like he was serving God, and who is free from mindness or the idea of possession. So not only he is not developing attachments to objects, or is avoiding all contact with the objects that inflate passions, but he also devoid of sense of possession. So let's go to the points. A saint is the supreme refuge to those who are immersed in the formidable ocean of samsara or worldly existence. So a saint is the supreme refuge. A saint is the one who has reached God realization. And he is the supreme refuge for those who are immersed in the ocean of samsara, because he is the vehicle. He is the presence of God. So those who are really striving for God realization, they will seek a liberated one. Those who are really seeking. Because, like I've explained, others are into spirituality because they have something to gain or they expect to gain, especially with these confusions of spirituality and therapy, and they are not the same. They have nothing to do with one another. Worldly attachments and sins are easily got rid of through service to the saints. But here is where the catch is. Service to the saints is not service to yourself. So if you're serving the saints to get something from them back, that is not serving the saints, it is serving yourself. I've listened many times, I served the Guru for 12 years, 14 years and nothing. Disappointment was there. Frustration was there. Then finding fault with others was there. But serving the Guru is not about receiving something in return. The service is that which is in return. It is the growth of love, of devotion. But if you're serving with the idea of getting something in return, eventually you will reach the point of frustration and nothing else than that, because you are still trying to serve yourself. So serving the Guru is serving the Guru, not serving oneself. And when you're really serving the Guru, meaning when you're really serving God through the Guru, God will take care. Until then, as you are not serving the Guru or God, as you are still trying to serve yourself by being the best disciple, the most compliant or whatever, but still because you want something in return, then frustration will have to come. Sri Shankara says, by keeping company with the Mahatmas, one becomes dispassionate. He gets vairagya. He does not like the company of worldly men. Then he becomes free from infatuation or delusion. Then his mind becomes steady and one-pointed and rests on the Swarupa or essence. Then he attains liberation or freedom. So, of course, even by starting with not the best intentions or clarity, understanding and serving to be served, if you hold on, eventually all that has to elevate itself. And that's what happens. Either you give up or you move higher. And give up means go back to the same life from which you haven't left yet, because if you were serving yourself, you were on the same drive, only a different environment. Or you move higher. You move more away from your world, from your illusion. You get more purified. Sutra 47. He who resorts to a solitary and holy place, he who roots out worldly desires or bonds, transcends the three gunas and gives up all ideas of acquisition and preservation. So purifying oneself is, like I've explained in the previous video, is the whole set of circumstances which surrounds you, not just your spiritual practices, but everything, the place where you are, the food that you take, what you see, what you listen, who you're with, all these things are very important. So, he who resorts to a solitary and holy place, not just solitary, but a holy place, not an ordinary place. Because in these holy places, ashrams or real ashrams and things like that, vibration is much, much higher. People are there with that focus. And if it's an ashram, the master is there. So vibration is high. Higher still if there's a liberated one. So it's not ordinary place. And these places usually, they don't have many people there. Depending there. But going to a solitary place, this also has meaning. It's an attitude towards others. So the dispassion is also towards others. And many times it happens that I hear this request a lot. I would like to be a part of the Sangha. And I usually explain that the Sangha is accidental Sangha, meaning that a Sangha is a group of seekers. Let's just keep it simple. And this group of seekers is accidental by nature, because each and every one of them has come in the quest for liberation, not to be part of a group. So if you want to be a part of the Sangha, this is a limitation. And as you still want to be a part of a Sangha, you will not be able to be part of a Sangha. So the attitude is very important. It is in solitude that oneness is realized. And this has to be understood, the deep meaning of this. So to a solitary and holy place. There's pilgrimage places, for example. There are places that are sacred, that are considered holy by the saints. There are ashrams, and where's the liberated one, it is a holy place. Who roots out worldly desires. Pay attention, who roots out worldly desires. So not only he is not feeding worldly desires, he is plucking them out, rooting them out. This is the attitude towards those desires. Not keeping there for some time in the future, or something like that. He is rooting them out. And this is quite different. Saying, so in the future, in some time, I will get some of this. Another thing is to say, I don't want anything of this no more. Or bonds, whatever bonds you, except the saint, the guru, God, which is all the same. Apart from that, no other bonds must be entertained, because they will pull you back to your old conception of yourself, to the past, which is still alive somewhere, and reinforce all those traits that you fought so much to be free from. So all bonds have to be cut. And in this way, it transcends the three gunas and gives up ideas of acquisition and preservation. So, 2 points on this. By discipline, worship, by cultivating virtues, study, kirtan, meditation, service of preceptor, and the grace of the Lord, the devotee or the yogi transcends all the three gunas. The list is long, fully occupies a day, a month, a lifetime. By discipline, worship, by cultivating virtues, study, kirtan, meditation, service to preceptor, and the grace of the Lord, the devotee or the yogi transcends all the three gunas. Constantly engaged in all of this, keeping constant remembrance of the Lord at all times. The feeling of mindness grows with constant association with sensual objects. It is very difficult to eradicate the feeling of mindness. Yes, this is very difficult to eradicate, but that is the simple truth. Nothing is yours. So, all is you, but nothing is yours. As you still find yourself as an individual, nothing is yours, not even the body. What to say about other objects? But it's difficult to transcend this feeling of mindness. Sutra 48. He who renounces the fruits of his actions and who renounces all actions goes beyond all pairs of opposites, such as pleasure and pain, good and bad, heat and cold. He goes beyond the pairs of opposites because he has renounced the world. He is no longer depending on any outcome. He has no preference whatsoever. He is abstracting from everything. So if cold comes, if heat comes, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have a preference. And with this mindset, constantly worshiping God, it transcends all pairs of opposites. It transcends eventually duality. Whatever the devotee does, he does it for the sake of the Lord. He does not expect any reward from his actions. Further, he has no attachment to karma or its fruits, either good or bad. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. For the one who has this attitude surely crosses the ocean of Maya. So whatever the devotee does, he does for the sake of God alone. So there's this vision that the Almighty God is the one who can give me whatever I think I need. And then serving God or trying to please God with this idea in mind, this is manifestation and increasing of impurities. But serving God, serving that Almighty, just for the service alone, without wanting anything in return, that is the highest standard of purity. And that, yes, brings salvation. Actions mean selfish actions. Selfless activities should be maintained. For the ones who have found the Guru tells which activities. Those who are searching, those activities that you find that are pleasing to God. This is how you guide yourself. That are fit to present in front of God. That make your attention turn towards God. See, loving God is the ultimate gift, the most precious thing. It's not what God can give you, but if God is in your life, that's not a means to something else. That is the end. That is the ultimate blessing. Sutra 49. He who abandons even the Vedas, even the rites and ceremonies prescribed by the Vedas, and obtains undivided and uninterrupted flow of love towards God. So, this we need to understand in context. Even the Vedas, meaning that this one has abandoned everything, has been holding on to the scriptures, to the Vedas, to the teachings, to the spiritual discipline, to all of this, has achieved a high level of devotion, of remembrance of God. One that is not interrupted, but is being interrupted in that moment by the Vedas. The rest is no longer there. No more worldly desires, nothing of this. And that devotion is constant flow. That remembrance of God is constant. And these religious activities, it is what symbolizes the Vedas, not only just the scriptures, but all which is enjoined by them. These rites and everything. If this is breaking that devotion or that remembrance of God, even if for a second, then it is time to let go and be completely absorbed in devotion to God, in the love of God. If you just listen to this and say, okay, so I will just give up. And this is a common thought. It's not a joke. It is a common understanding. So, like meditation is the maintenance of duality. So I abandon it, but you never did anything to it. So how can you abandon it? So, and the Vedas also, well, just don't read. Forget about it. No, these things you hold on to until you have let go everything which is worldly by nature, as you have rooted all desires, worldly desires. And the moment, the time that comes to let go of any of these practices, well, if the Guru is there, he will let you know. Apart from that, only when your devotion has become constant, uninterrupted, and it's just in those moments, as you are reading scriptures, that it is breaking that devotion. Then it has become an obstacle. So it is in that moment that you let it go and you maintain constant devotion, constant, uninterrupted devotion to God, remembrance of God. The Vedas have no value to the one of such a steady flow of love for God. Of course, the Vedas were there to purify him, to enable devotion to come in his heart. But one who is already in that constant flow of devotion, has no need for that anymore. He is in the Vedas. He is already in God. Sutra 50. He verily crosses Maya. He crosses this ocean of samsara, all limitations, and he helps mankind to cross also. So the one who crosses Maya, who crosses all limitations, help all others to cross also. They become the embodiment of God, and they will help also others to cross the ocean of illusion. Okay.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhushka sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva.